Oh, hello. It's been a while since I've done a little video, but in honor of spring equinox, I just want to drop in here real quick and bring back our good friend Bergamot, because Bergamot's perfect for spring equinox. And it's because it's the light bringer. And when we hit equinox, we're in the vernal equinox in the northern hemisphere. So it's spring, we're going from winter to spring. And equinox is when the light and dark are equal. And then we springboard into more light every day. But this is the most active time of the year, like really where the energy, the yang energy, that expansive, explosive outward energy is rising. But first, we want to welcome the sun back. And I've been listening to that song, Here Comes the Sun, da, 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 and dancing to that in the evening. So it's just been playing with the seasons is helps make our lives richer and helps us mark time in a way that feels, I would say expansive, but it's expansive and contractive. It leaves us space to have the full range of expression within us when we embrace the cycles of the seasons, the cycles of our lives, the cycles of our bodies, the cycles of the moon. It really gives us a sense of rhythm and place, because sometimes we're in a place and we're like, you feel like you're off the map. And so what happens is when we learn cycles, we can kind of identify ourselves on a map. And when we have conflicting cycles, it may feel confusing, right? One area of your life may be growing while the other one is dying, or, but how would you work with that? And so that's the beauty of cycle medicine. But right now, I'm doing that. We are moving to Florida in like by equinox, by summer solstice, I will be in Florida. I will have sold this house that I'm sitting in right now. And there is a death cycle happening and a growth cycle happening. And it's confusing. There's a lot of feelings. It's going to be a lot of back and forth over the next 3 months. And so how do I support myself? How do I recognize myself in the different cycles that are happening? How do I hold that space for the bigness of all of it? And I imagine that I'm not alone. I imagine that you might be going through your own stuff. And so how do you, again, support? And so let's use Bergamot. Let's bring in Bergamot as a friend. One of the best ways to see in the darkness is to turn the light on. And I don't mean, it doesn't have to be blaring sun. It can be, sometimes all we can do is a match in the darkness. I don't know if you've heard my invocation, but I really do feel like what I do is I help women, dance in the sunlight and hold your flame in the dark. And that is what I think Bergamot can help us do too. So let's use Bergamot as a friend to do that. And this was like the entry level, like opt-in, or if you've done a class with me, Bergamot and Shen Men is like one of the first things we do. So if you probably have it, if you've been playing with me for any amount of time. And if you haven't, you could use a different citrus, like sweet orange is also a nice one to bring back the light. It's a warmer, more nourishing light, whereas Bergamot has more of that clarity. Lemon would also be appropriate. So let's play. Grab your citrus oil, and you're just going to put a drop on your pinky finger, because the pinky is the perfect size for our ear. And we're just going to drop it right into our Shen Men Acupoint, which is in this upper triangle. And the pinky is big enough that it just kind of covers that whole area, so you don't have to worry about being super precise with the point. And this point is Spirit Gate, Shen Men. We're using a light touch, and we're holding for 1 to 3 minutes. I'm just waiting for a shift. And sometimes it's just a deeper breath. It's a feeling of like, oh, like a downshift. I always feel like it's a downshift. And I have that sound that I make. I go, And that's the first layer. You can keep holding. Sometimes there's different layers. You can go deeper. But just waiting for that first shift, at least. It's usually about 60 seconds. Sometimes it's a minute and a half, depending on how far you have to come. So I hope that this little practice can help you. It doesn't have to be a big occasion. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be at your wit's end. It's a little teeny practice. And I am sitting here in my treatment room. I have a patient coming in 20 minutes. I've got painters on the other side of the wall. My father-in-law is here. My husband's working upstairs. It's the perfect time to do Bergamot on Shen Men, because I can slip away. I can support myself. I can just do a 1, 2, 3% change in the direction of my energy for the day, for this moment. And I'm able to tap more into my resources and my capabilities to keep moving forward. And when we bring back a little bit of that sunlight, when things are a little bit smoother, we're not as lost in the darkness. And so Bergamot, again, it's the light bringer. It's really nice. Tiffany Carroll, one of my teachers, talks about it, kind of connecting the left and the right sides of the brain so that we have access not only to our intuition, but our logical thinking, and we bring them together and integrate them. That light and dark, left and right, like the two sides, Equinox, bringing together this balance. And so pull out your bergamot or your other citrus. Again, will also bring that sunny energy. And I invite you to do this practice. Thank you. Mwah.